What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts, and welcome to Lactic Acid. I'm your host, Dominic Smith, and today I told y'all we was getting on the trails, and today I have a baller, a shot caller. I mean, words can't describe. She has more power than all the Infinity Stones that Thanos collected in that Avengers movie, and she utilized that at Cocodona, the Kim Possible of the trails. Miss Megan Eckart. Megan, what's going on, my friend? Appreciate you joining the show. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on. I'm excited for this conversation.
Listen, if you don't know about Megan, then you live in a pineapple under the sea because she it's not even just what she did at Cocodona. Think about it. You run 253 miles. So that is, I live in Florida. I live in Orlando. That is here to, I want to say, the southern part of Georgia. And she did that faster than what people could just drive. Like, it's the most insane thing. So she was the third place female finisher, 63 hours. So, like I said, I forgot the artist. I think it was Kanye West when he said, bow in the presence of greatness. So that's what we are working with right now. Um, we mentioned before your sleeping pattern is a little trying to get in the swing of things. I took a power nap today and then I tried to work out after. I don't know how you run like after that. I was struggling and straining. Like that's the craziest thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, sleep is such an adjustment. I can remember the first time I tried to do a power nap, so to speak, in the middle of a race, and it was a complete disaster. I ran a couple miles and was like, I am completely exhausted now. That 20 minutes did absolutely nothing. So it was definitely something I had to work on over time, and get better at. Just power napping, finding out exactly what the time period was that my body needed in order to continue running and continue performing.
I feel like a power nap when you wake up, it's your body being pissed at you because you woke up like too fast instead of like sleeping on the way. Because you feel so groggy and just like you said, more tired. So I got up and I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I was like, nah, I need to sit down for about another hour. And it took me a minute to get into the swing of things. But speaking of the swing of things, you are no exception to this first question. So when athletes do amazing things, we're going to do a summertime promotion just to celebrate your awesomeness and what you just accomplished. So when athletes do amazing things, they get put on a Wheaties box. But because you've transcended excellence, you get a chance to choose the cereal box that you would like to be featured on. And it is going to just roll everywhere, like everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. The second thing that's going to be done for you. So, learning more about trails, you guys have a wide variety of foods. So, we're going to come up with the Megan starter pack, and you get a chance to choose a drink, two items of food, and they are going to sell it to any trail runner. But it's success guaranteed, but it's all your branding. You get everything that comes from it. So I need to know cereal box, then I need to know what's in the starter pack.
Cereal box, 100% Cheerios. The honey nut version, though, not the plain, the honey nut version. And the starter, talking about drink, those core power vanillas.
Mm.
Those are just the awesomest thing that's ever happened. You get your protein, you get a little bit of carb, and they taste good on a hot day if they're cold. Yeah, those are bomb. And then ooh, food. I am a big turkey and cheese sandwich person out there.
Mm.
Little tomato, a little bit of mayo, good to go.
So what's the third item? So are we like turkey and cheese with like a cookie to like get you going, or we have to be like healthy and get like a stalk of broccoli?
Um, No, we're going with potato chips. We're gonna go with some Doritos or something. We're gonna go completely unhealthy.
That's what I'm talking. That's why she great. So anybody who says health is wealth, that is true. But I mean, if one of the fastest people in the world can eat a turkey sandwich and some Doritos, I mean, what's my excuse? Like I said, I'm with that. Let's go back to the Honey Nut Cheerios because you see, I'm 32, so I grew up in that 90s, early 2000s era. I was automatically drawn back to the Honey Nut Cheerios commercial with that little bumblebee, and then I just remembered how good they used to hit. Like I don't know. Every time I would eat the bad cereal, want to feel good about myself, you eat like Honey Nut Cheerios because they always put the little heart value, healthy crap symbol on there, which is probably very highly inaccurate. I don't know. That just did something to me here in Honey Nut Cheerios.
I love them. And you add a few like cranberries, like dried cranberries to them, or a little brown sugar even. Like I'm not,
Ooh,
yeah, it can level up the Honey Nut Cheerios too. They don't have to stay just plain, but yeah, they are my go-to.
I never thought to do that. Like brown sugar with the, oh my gosh.
Really good. So
That's
they're really
dangerous.
addictive too that way.
But I feel like they would hit dry, let alone with milk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember as a kid like having a little baggie full of Honey Nut Cheerios and going to wherever I was going, and mom would
Oh,
have me with the Honey Nut Cheerios and that was a snack as we're walking around. So maybe that's part of it too.
that is so elite. Honey Nut Cheerios. Why haven't you sponsored Sister yet? That's so just that's come on. Like that's crazy. And I have a box of Honey Nut Cheerios in the pantry. And I
Mhm.
have some brown sugar. And I'm trying to tell you it's going down. Uh and I have dried cranberries too, because that's something that goes in oatmeal. Oh my gosh, man. I think she just gave us the golden ticket, y'all. That's something serious. That is crazy. There's so many different kinds of turkey sandwiches because I had one today. Like, are we a OG turkey or we need like some seasoning, like a oven roasted or a honey maple, or do you just not care?
I do like some seasoning. I like the honey roasted. I liked like a smoked turkey,
Mm.
black pepper. Not so much running. Black pepper doesn't go so good running, but I like some seasoning on my turkey.
Feel like you run to the bathroom, like
Yeah.
trying to trying to
A little bit too much spice is not good.
No, I mean, I ain't gonna lie. If I had one more mile to go, that's good for some speed work. But no, I can't. Ugh, no, I can't imagine that. No, I don't know. It's funny. I had a turkey sandwich today, so I was just like thinking, and I put down. I had this debate actually recently. Now that you mentioned Doritos, so I have to ask: are we the OG flavor, or do we mix it up?
I do prefer the original flavors. The Cool Ranch or the Nacho Cheese are normally the ones I'm grabbing. The newer ones are just a
They
little much.
They suck. I'm not apologizing for saying that. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourselves, but still sponsor the show if you want to. But the Cool Ranch or the oh, that's tough. Which okay, so if you had to have one, just like you had to live with one, what are we going? Are we going the blue bag of the Cool Ranch? Or are we going the traditional red bag?
So it would have to be nacho cheese and traditional red bag. And I'll tell you why, because when I have traveled and I've gone to different countries, the nacho cheese doesn't taste exactly the same in every single country. So, like here in the States, it tastes a certain way. When I went to Mexico, it had like a little bit of a zing to it or a little tang to it. When I went to New Zealand, it tasted different. Like each little place has its own little flavor profile or little twist on the nacho cheese.
I would take it a step further. Each state tastes different.
Okay.
So Florida tastes like traditional. I've gone to the West Coast. The Doritos don't hit like that. I think they use like organic cheese or or something, or I don't know, but I don't there's a different taste. Like I don't know. It almost kind of lacked flavor in a
Okay.
sense. I kind of get Mexico having, I don't know if they put like cilantro or something like that in it. New Zealand, I just kind of thought the distributor made all the chips the same. I mean, the plant did. I guess not.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be true. I have never noticed that in the States. I'm gonna have to really pay attention to that the next time I'm out.
I don't want you to do that. I just want you to enjoy whatever meal that you're eating. Like I don't want us to run the
Well, now
scientific.
I'm curious now.
I mean that's fair. If you feel like me and have to run the scientific experiment on the different levels of Doritos, the last time, well, I would say this, food tastes different now than probably when we were growing up.
That's true.
Like just even the Honey Nut Cheerios doesn't have, I guess the bee retired back to his hive. I'm like, you need to come on back out, bro, because that, you know, those Cheerios were hidden when you were like buzzing around. The brown sugar trick is something that I'm telling you is going to be tried as soon as possible. Like,
Nice.
bless you for bringing that into the track and field atmosphere on this podcast. And if it helps me my next race to run a PR, I will dedicate that medal to you for bringing that up because that is clutch. I just never Honey Nut Cheerios. You see, you know why I kind of it surprises me with Honey Nut Cheerios, and people who've had this will understand. You have to have had the real original Cheerios compared to the Honey Nut Cheerios. Like if you said I put them on the regular Cheerios, you had to, I don't know what else you could have put on that. Like you had to put everything on that to give it some flavor. Um, but like the Honey Nut, I don't know, there was just levels to it, but it just devastates me that after 32 years I've just been missing out on such greatness. Um, but like I said, you're never too late to learn, never too late to find something new and be great at it. Speaking of greatness, let's talk about you and these trails and this ultra running and this amazing accomplishment. So first of all, Cocodona down in Arizona, the 250, historic race, historic race. And you made history because really the top three, Rachel, Courtney, and yourself, you guys smashed that time. The original course record. You're the third female overall. Just looking back on it now, a short time removed, how does it feel?
Um, Kind of surreal. It was a really incredible experience. It was so controlled for myself. I really uh, ran my own race, and I can be really proud of what I put out there and how I was able to perform.
It's funny. You coach track and or you coach running. I think you coach cross country. Um, your athletes have no excuse not to do anything anymore. I would pull that card. It's like, oh, coach, it's just too much. Listen, I just ran 253 miles on 45 minutes of sleep. That was not accounted for anything. So, it is no excuse. But when you kind of think about what you've accomplished, can you take me through like the race in terms of when did you realize, okay, this is my day. This is the day that we're going to fry chicken and just ball out and do something that you haven't done before?
Um, from the start line, it was something that I hadn't done before, which was really cool. I'd been on trails. I'm no stranger to that distance. But I had never combined the two. So from the start line, it was okay, this is something I've never done before, and this is really exciting because it's a new way to challenge myself. I felt very, very controlled, kept things pretty well within my wheelhouse for the first half of the race. And then coming into Sedona, which is just a little over half, I think it's about 131 miles or so, is when I started feeling like I was ready to race the thing. Like it was gonna be my day, and that I was gonna have a very strong performance, and I was ready to go for it. That's kind of when the mind completely and totally locked into starting the competition side, and I was having to hold myself back, not wanting to race until about 13 miles later, but the mind was already ready to go.
What is, and I'm gonna throw some random stuff because that's just how my mind's working. What is your playlist like if you do listen to music? Like, what are you? I have an idea of what I would have to listen to in order to keep me going. Like on the start line, I'm definitely listening to what's that song? Lose Yourself by Eminem. Just palms sweaty, knees weak, arms
Yes.
are heavy, vomiting on my singling already, mom spaghetti. Like what is your playlist? Like, are you more chill or did you need something like some DMX or some like hardcore heavy metal to get you going? Or and what was that like?
So I grew up actually in a music family and I love music. So I have this wide range of um I have some Bob Marley, I have Bob Dylan, I have Avicii, I have oh gosh, John Lennon on there. And I'm just um yeah, I'm just going with the music. I have a playlist that I love. I have a favorites list, but it is all over the board. You're talking about everything from 70s rock to modern pop to Eminem to I'm just throwing it all out there. I never know what's next, which is also very exciting. I'm like in one style, and then iTunes now has their thing where they have started merging from song to song instead of having a break. And so I'll have like this nice little like Bob Marley thing going. And then all of a sudden it's like this Eminem rap that's merging into it. It's just this odd transition and you just go with it.
I have a question. This is so in my last race, I tried something similar to what you have, but I have it with Spotify. And I had to, I come from a musical family too. We'll get to that, especially your love for music in a second. So I have a bunch of different things on mine. I love like classic soul, R&B. I had a little jazz on there because I'm thinking like, you don't want to get too hyped and then you don't want to, maybe you need something to pump you up. So there was a point in the race where we went from Al Jarreau to TI like instantaneously, and I looked at the watch and I'm like, oh shoot, like this is not good because I was going like so fast, and I was like, okay, this is not good. You got to slow down. Like, do you ever have that problem like in your races, or are you like a seasoned veteran when it comes to just ignoring everything and just being in control?
Oh, I can totally tune out on some music or even conversation and get going way, way too fast. And luckily, my crew is really good at like touching their watch and telling me, "Hey, you got to slow down. That's too fast." They just like touch their watch, slow down, slow down, slow down. Because I do, I'll get in that rhythm with the music, and then the next thing you know, it's not the pace that I should be at all. But it doesn't feel hard, so that's what matters, right?
That is what matters. I need to get to that level because a brother was wheezing listening to let him know. And I'm looking, oh, this is not my pace. And brother paid for it to still hit a PR, but nonetheless, what was that experience like with your crew? Because I know you guys had to put a lot of work in. It's mind blowing. I was sitting down thinking about it, just the training that has to go into it. Like I don't think the average person can comprehend all the mental prep and the physical prep. But what was that like sharing that experience with your crew who helped you get to this point?
It was definitely a shared experience. You're going into Crown King 37 miles in. That's the first time you can see your crew. My husband and a couple of our friends had crewed for me before, And actually, one of them I had crewed for them before. So it was a fun full circle moment to be on the flip side. And from 37, then 75, then pretty much off and on all the way to the finish, you're able to see your crew and you can tell they're tired too. They're right there in it with you. They're believing in you. They're cheering you on. They're doing everything they possibly can. Our pit stops were so fast. We were so in tune at aid stations. I would come in and I would get some information on how I was looking and place wise and so on. And I felt like a race car, they're just throwing stuff out of my pack and putting stuff back in and telling me to eat something, drink something. Okay, you're good, let's go. And right back out there. So we were like a fine oiled machine.
What was, from a nutrition standpoint, what was probably the most beneficial thing that you ate? And I have a couple more questions about this, then we'll jump to some off-limit stuff. But what was probably like the most beneficial thing that you ate that kind
Um,
of helped give you energy and everything?
Yeah, so I did a lot of precision when I was on course. That for me was really easy for me to keep down, and it was pretty easy to carry in a pack and take out. And I used the chews quite a bit. And then when I was in an aid station, I would turn around and do more liquid calories, looking at like a Core Power or a Coca-Cola or something like that to get a little burst of energy and a little bit of protein. But on course, a lot of it was just pure carbs along with electrolytes.
Yeah, listen, that powered you through, especially down there in Arizona. Like I mentioned earlier, you did not just complete this. You were not just a third female to cross. You were a part of history. Has it sunk in that you were a part of history? Especially, somebody posted this on social media. They talked about the progression of women's running and how women were treated when they first started to run the marathon so long ago. And now you guys are just rewriting the record books. Have you kind of thought about the history that you got a chance to be a part of?
I don't know if it's completely sunk in yet, but I have had a chance to kind of reflect on it. I was out on a run earlier and I was thinking just how cool this is that now when we and this has been happening. This isn't the only race. This just happens to have happened on a large scale race where these women performed super strong. And now we're looking at, well, when we're going into a race, it's no longer like this is the field and this is the female field. It's there it's it's anybody's race. It's anybody's opportunity to be first overall and take that podium. And this race just made that statement very loud and clear.
I'm curious, what made you, just kind of switching gears off of Cocodona for a second? What made you get into coaching? Like, where did that passion come from?
So I was a late in life runner. I didn't start till I was 29. And I absolutely fell in love with running. Really, really quickly. I didn't actually have anyone who told me ever that running could be fun, that running could be something that you enjoyed, something that you could learn from. And so I got into coaching to kind of share that passion with others, both adults and high school students, just to kind of show them that it can be fun. Like we can have a good time out here. It doesn't have to be, the running as punishment. Because I have a basketball background, so it was running as punishment was definitely the message that was sent. And it wasn't until later in life that I realized that running could be something I could do and actually enjoy doing.
Coach tells you get on the baseline, that's nightmarish.
Yeah, you're like I screwed up today.
Oh my gosh. When I played, I don't know what we did in the game, but we had to run um suicides. I was like, this is not supposed to be, this sucks. Like, I hate this. And then playing football, you run gassers. Like it's same here. I think I got started running 29, 30 too, 30 as well. Um, and I got peer pressured into it by just the athletes that I cover, but I think it was one of the best things ever. Because I'm like, it sucks running in Florida because it's so freaking hot. Um, but I don't know, there's just and honestly, that's why I asked about the coaching too, because I hear the passion that you have for it, and it's easy to see how it can really change the experience of somebody that maybe like me or you who did not know about the power of running for the better and create something that you just never know. Running is so instrumental for so many different things outside of exercise. Um, but yeah, that's interesting.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, I think running also, like being a coach, has also allowed me to stay in tune with the sport itself and continue to grow and develop my own knowledge, which I would be doing anyways. But sometimes you have an athlete that comes to you with something that you've never encountered before, and you have to go research it. And in the process, you learn something entirely new, and have another tool in your toolbox. To problem solve later when chances are you're going to encounter that yourself.
I used to coach high school um, track and field too. I'm curious, did and I know you coach as well. You coach not just adults but kids as well. Have they taught you any new lingo that you just didn't understand or said anything like what does this mean? Like they'll say text message talk, and I'm just like, what are you trying to say? Like it just doesn't. So I'm curious, have you had that experience?
Um, many times over. I am not only a high school coach, but I'm also a middle school teacher. So I am constantly going, what does that mean? Please explain. Luckily, they think I'm cool enough that they explain it to me, and they're not like, "Come on, miss, you're old." But so they're like, "Hey, we'll clue you in." But yeah, they are constantly coming up with new lingo that I have no clue.
I still don't know what 6'7" means. Um, when somebody does that, I'm like, what does that mean? Are you referring to an age, the temperature, or whatever the case might be? Well, they called me Unk the other day. Like I was referred to as Unk. I'm like, so 32 is the new Unk? I don't.
Is it short for uncle? I don't, that's the
Yeah.
only thing I could come up with.
So there's Unk, there's OG, there's like auntie, stuff like that. So people who are at least 20 years in the game older than they are, they like to refer. I was like, oh man, I'm in some trouble. I'm, I I can't keep up. What subject do you teach?
I'm a math teacher.
God bless you. Oh man, that was my, it's funny. That was my least favorite subject, but my last math class, my college professor was my favorite professor because she found a way to make math so fun. So I have a tremendous amount of respect for math teachers. Um, what are three fun facts that people do not know about the legend that is Miss Megan Eckert?
Oh, I'm actually a giant bookworm when I'm not running. I'm definitely a huge reader. Audio, paperback, doesn't matter. I just like to, and all styles. I love nonfiction. I love fiction. I love fantasy and sci-fi and thrillers. I'm reading them all. Um, let's see. I think I'm definitely a mountain runner at heart. I've done a lot of like track and field stuff, in the sense of fixed timed and races, but I am definitely an uphill runner. I want to go up for as long as I possibly can. I think the ideal race wouldn't be a VK because that's way too short. but it would just be a really, really, really long uphill. No descending, just straight up for as many miles as you can possibly make it. Uh,
Like just on an incline. Like what?
yeah, just straight incline, just run up. Not a
Megan,
VK, like not this 5K style, but give me a good um 10, 20-mile climb. Let's do that.
you are tougher than a well-done steak. That is, that is, oh, my calves and quads just scream. But
You
I'm
watch me
not,
going down though, and I twinkle toes it down. I'm like, nope.
or we just kind of bear crawl it down. No, but
Right.
honestly, I feel like at that point, a helicopter has to come and descend to, because like you're, no, it's like, when you do stadiums and you go downstairs, you're just like, let me lean on something because pain is coming. No, listen. That's where the crew carries you down. You will be carried down that mountain, so I wouldn't even worry about that. I'm actually going to have you do two because you mentioned something earlier that I was curious about. But I'm gonna come back to that one in a second. It's the music element. Um, you like books. Like, what is your go-to book? What's your favorite book that you've read?
Favorite book. I'm a huge Stephen King fan,
Okay.
and I really, really like him when he wrote as Richard Bachman.
Mhm.
And wrote under the pseudonym. So my favorite book, I absolutely love the book The Running Man.
Mhm.
I just think it's just incredibly written. They actually recently did a movie remake on it. But the book is just amazing. But he also has The Shining that's written, same thing. You got Thinner, you got The Long Walk. Like that whole Richard Bachman series is just incredible to me.
How do you find time to incorporate the reading? And are you team book or team like Kindle? You like a paperback or you like the online stuff?
I am, if I'm gonna read a book, I am paperback. I want to hold the book in my hands. I want to smell the pages. I am definitely, I want the book. Now, I do get a lot of my books done reading while I'm running. So I will be a team audiobook too. Because I do like to go out and have a 3 hour run and be listening to a book at the same time. So if I'm running, it's definitely going to be an audiobook. I prefer that actually over music unless I'm racing. When I'm racing, I save the music for that.
Listen, kids, I used to love the library. Love it. We have the huge library in Orlando, the Orlando Public Library. I used to run out of the study room, get the iPad, put the jazz on, and just read like books. I don't think you kids understand. There's nothing like smelling the pages of a new book. It is it is delightful. I even got a paper cut on one of the pages of a new book, which stamps it official. Um, so I'm with that. But the element of music, what, so do you play any instruments?
Not anymore. I did play quite a few when I was growing up. Um, I played piano. I could probably still sit down and be able to play, but it's been quite a few years. And I was also I played the flute and the piccolo.
So you play the fun instruments. No, I'm no, go ahead.
Yes, I really enjoyed the piano actually a lot. I tried guitar, but that was really hard. I
I
props to anyone who plays the guitar because that is just a tough instrument. The string instruments are very challenging.
I have no idea how people make guitar so effortless. I could never do it. I just they say bass guitar is a little easier, which I kind of get because it's not as, taxing on the nerves, but those acoustic guitars are like that is in I'm with you 1000%. Cannot do it, could not do it. I actually played the violin. That was the only string instrument I could play. Um, and the drums, drums, I could work out some aggression. But I, it's funny, the flute was always one that I was curious about because it has such a soothing sound to it. So it's like, wow, this would be fun to play. I could actually never get hip to the piano. It was so
I
hard for me.
I started very young. I started I must have been 7 or 8 when I started learning piano.
Man, when did you kind of drop it off?
Oh, I must have been about 15 when I stopped playing.
I understand that. And you said your family's musical too.
Yes. Yes. My grandfather could play by ear just about anything he listened to, which was just an incredible talent he had.
Oh my goodness
And he
gracious.
always had the record player going.
Do you still have the record player? Do you have a record player, or we kind of moved past that?
I don't have a record player anymore. I don't know if my father still does. My father had it for a while. He might still have it.
I have actually vinyl records, and I just like, okay, I want to collect all of these so that one day this is just the dumbest thing. I was like, I would love to bring back record players, vinyl records, and VCRs.
The
Uh,
sound was different.
yes. Like it was such a pure sound. Like we talk about the food because it wasn't any of this like remastered stuff. Like you just heard, like I love I call it oldies music, but like the Frank Sinatra era, the one where you could really hear the instruments. Um, which is why I love like 80s and 90s rap. Like I love like the Roots because they have a live band, like De La Soul, various things where you could actually hear instruments being played. And it's just such a, like you said, an amazing sound. I like it better like back then, that scratched up version instead of like this chronic ear pain you get from listening to certain music now. Um, you were a basketball player. Can you humbly or not no, can you not humbly describe the baller that was back in the day? Like who were you?
Um, I wasn't top dog at all on the team. I was normally second string. I was that steady, dependable, would be there, would show up, would practice, would be able to do a decent job in the game. But I wasn't starting lineup. But I definitely gave it my all when I was at practice, and I gave it my all when I went to a game. And I think that that mentality is what carried over.
Yeah, especially in these higher races. Like you're not gonna meet, you know, what do they say? Like you have the it factor. There's no person that doesn't have the it factor that is going to say, I want to run uphill the entire way. Like nobody's gonna do that and everything. And that's not even to be funny. It's just it speaks to like the mentality, like I want to challenge myself to do something great and just do so and have fun doing it, which is what sports should be. And it's interesting too because I have this conversation often. A lot of times, like kids nowadays, they get glued to one sport instead of trying different things out. But who knew that basketball would help shape your mentality for another sport that you're even more incredible at and such. It's like all a part of the process.
Yeah, I think multi-sports is so important to explore different avenues. And yeah, you don't know what you're learning in one that'll carry over to another. And I see it with the athletes that I coach. A lot of them are doing more than one sport. And I've had some go, "Hey coach, when I graduate, I want to try a backyard ultra, or I want to try," and I'm like, "Cool, okay, yes." They've been exposed to that, the different avenues of running. And yeah, maybe they did baseball, or maybe they did basketball, or maybe they did all three of them in running. And so they're, but they have that mindset and they have that ability to translate that athlete mindset from sport to sport.
Yeah. Also, it is incredible to see all those medals like right behind you. Like that is insane.
I got hooked so fast.
I tell people I started running races strictly because of the medals. Because they're like the coolest things. So I'm looking like CIM and all these things. I was like, I see the state of Texas too. Like they have medals that represent the state of Texas. Of course they do. That's crazy. So that is actually it is like a hall of fame in the room that you're recording in. I'm gonna ask this and then we're gonna do ask a couple more questions and then we're gonna wrap this thing up. How have your athletes inspired you on your journey?
Um, in general, the students and athletes have continued to inspire me because they have this very pure, very innocent, like belief that their coach can do and their teacher can do absolutely anything. And that there's no there's no one out there who can possibly beat their coach and their teacher. It's like this pure sort of like I show up at a race and I know like there's competition, there's gonna be this, that, and the other thing, and in their mind and the student's mind and the athlete's mind, it's just like, yeah, you're gonna go get it. Just go race. Just go do what you do because we know where you're gonna end up. And it's such so empowering to have people that believe in you that much without any strings attached.
That is amazing. Like you can never, wow. And it's so innocent. Like it's just such an innocence too. And it's like you
Hmm.
said, it's so pure. Like what are you tripping for? You gonna win. Like, it's just like they don't understand the process, but they don't care. Like it's the process. They just like know that you're gonna get it done. Man, what has it been like running with Mount the Coast and just that? Those shoes are amazing. But what has that support and just everything been like with them so far this season?
um, I'm gonna do you one better. I'm gonna go back because when I started with Mountain to Coast, they were just coming into the States. They're like, hey, try these shoes, and tell us what you think. I wasn't even signed by them, and I fell in love, like instantly fell in love with the shoes. I wore them at a race, and then eventually this kind of natural partnership developed where it was like I was wearing their shoes because their shoes worked for me. And then they wanted to support the races and the endeavors I was pursuing. And so from the point where they came in here to the States, it's kind of been like we've been growing together over the past 2 years. They are so excited about everything that I'm doing and that the other athletes are doing on the team. And in turn, myself, I'm so excited about the products that they're putting out because they work. So it's been this amazing mutual partnership where they've allowed me to pursue um, races and endeavors that I wouldn't have been able to do on my own.
I have the C1s, and when I tell you that is like fried chicken on the feet when you are moving, that is listen, the only regret I have about that shoe is that I got it dirty because it's it's the white one. I've never, not even just to gas them up, I ran my race in them and I rolled the ankle slightly. And if you've listened to the series, podcast episodes, I know you're probably sick of me talking about it and I just don't care. But it absorbed the blow and I was able to keep going. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, I don't know. They just, to your point, they make such an amazing product. And um, man, it's I'm with you. What's your go-to shoe of theirs?
Um, so I absolutely love the H1s. They are super cushioned, perfect for like where I'm running because I'm here in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and so we're definitely a lot of road to trail conditions, and so some days I'm doing road, some days I'm doing trail, some days I don't know where I'm gonna be at. And so the H1s are kind of perfect. They're like I keep one in my car, I keep one in the house, I keep one at work because I just don't know um, where I'm gonna run at the end of the day or where I'm gonna want to go. And so I've been excited that those shoes are. I've never had a hybrid shoe that actually works on road and on trail because normally you get on road and you get that clunky feeling and you get that like heavy feeling when you're running on a hybrid shoe. And what I've found with these is they don't do that. You don't have that clunky feeling, that heavy feeling on road. There's actually a rocker motion, and it's not as intense as the C1, but it's just enough.
It's just enough. That's what it is. Let me ask you these two questions, then we're gonna do rapid fire, and then we're gonna get out of here. What did you learn about yourself in this experience at the Cocodona 250?
Um, I think I solidified the fact that for me running um, for personal reasons and running my own race is the best way for me to show up.
That's deep because that's so no, it's because I think a lot of people struggle with that too. And so um it obviously manifested itself in your results. My last one is if somebody is looking at you and they're saying, you know what, she inspired me to do something great, and they want to get into running. Based on your experience in this sport and what you've been able to accomplish and what you will accomplish, what advice would you pass on?
My experiences in this sport has been so surrounded around people from the very, very start. So for somebody just getting into the sport, I would say look up your local run group, go to your local run store, find some people who are already out there doing some of the races you want to do or having some of the experiences you want to have, and cling to them, ask them questions. Pick their brains and because as runners usually we want to share all the information we have with others, and that was my experience when I first started running was I clung to people, and they shared and they told me about trails and they told me about racing and they helped me kind of get to where I am today, but we're still in contact. Like I'm still picking their brains about stuff. It's not a like beginning end all be all. It's like this continuous process where you continue to make connections and you can continue to grow in this sport and you continue to learn more. So just find your people.
You have survived the interrogation process. Now we're going to our last segment called Down the Home Stretch, where I'm going to ask you a few rapid fire questions, and I want you to answer them to the best of your ability. If you don't, in the 4 years of doing the show, nobody ever has, so don't even worry about it. Are you ready?
I'm ready for it. Let's go.
If there was a food that you could live with and the food that you could live without, what would they be?
Okay. Um, Eggs would be my food to live with. Um, Living without, I am, oh, that's a tough one. Um,
Like, what's a food that you hate?
Food that I hate. I mean, the food that I can't eat, we're going with gluten. I can't eat anything gluten, so goodbye. I'm good with that.
Oh, God bless. Oh man. It's like, why is there gluten in everything? Like that's good.
A whole most of the supermarket, right?
Oh my gosh. So you like pizza and oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that depresses me. But there's gluten-free pizza. There's gluten-free in stuff.
Cauliflower crust,
Cauliflower
they're
crust. And like you said, if you season it right, you can make it taste better than the official thing. Good stuff.
Exactly.
So that's how it is. That's how it is. What was the go-to meal after you finished Cocodona?
Nachos. Those
Mm.
are my thing all the time. Love me some nachos, carne asada. Yeah.
And you
And
live
I
in New
do it every
Mexico too.
time, and then like it dries out my lip. And I'm always like, because you've been breathing so heavy for so long, and also you've been in the sun, so your lips are already chapped. And my favorite food post race is nachos, but then when you add the chips on top of it, it dries out your lip, and you end up with chapped lips for 4 days that are quite painful. So it's never a good idea, but I do it every time.
But doesn't the salt like help to moisturize?
Not
Shouldn't
at
it?
all. Not at all.
What the crap? Uh, can Vaseline sponsor a sister or some chapstick brand or something like that? That's horrible. And you live in New Mexico, so I bet those nachos just hit a little differently than anywhere else.
Oh yeah, you add some green chili and it is so good.
Oh man, she already put me on brown sugar honey nut Cheerios. Now we have to go to like the loaded nachos. If they were gonna make a movie or write a book about your life, who would you want to play your character? And who would you want to write the book?
Oh, I am not a huge movie person, so actors and actresses kind of escape me.
Okay.
Um,
So, so let's just go with the book.
let's go with the book then. Um, I think it would be fun to have somebody like Matt Haig who writes about kind of sci-fi time stuff to write a book. I think it would be really interesting to see how his perspective would be written.
Okay. If you were not a runner or a math teacher, what would you be?
So I've always said if I'm not a math teacher, that my second career would actually be in firefighting, wildfire firefighting.
Well, you certainly have more endurance than a firefighter, so that's a easy. We passed the hardest element of it, so that's what's up. I like that. Just a couple more. Dream vacation spot.
Ooh, so many places on my list I want to go, but I have always wanted to go to Cape Town, South Africa.
Mm. To run or just to visit?
Both actually. Ever since I was a child, I've been obsessed with Africa in general, and especially South Africa and the history there. And I would, yeah, absolutely love to go there.
Hmm. Yeah, that would actually be sick though. I'm not gonna lie. Even racing, doing like a 250 in South Africa would be actually be hot, but it would be lit because you see so much just running through everything. Oh man. Um, just a couple more questions for you. If there was a trend from when you grew up that you could bring back into this day and age, what would it be?
Ooh. We had everything in um in packets and pockets and like on the go stuff. Remember, it was like tubes of this and
Yes,
packs of this. And as an ultra runner, how brilliant was that? Like normal food in just pouches and packs. And yeah, I would bring that back. I mean,
I
it's
bet.
still there, but it's not the same.
Oh my gosh, just the quality of it has gone downhill. Can you imagine like a hot pocket, like a back in the day hot pocket, like now, or God, if you needed just some energy, you crank out like a fruit by the foot, or like a like
What happened to fruit by the foot? Do they still have that? I haven't
I
seen that in forever.
I just saw it in the store. They have it. I saw Gushers too. Like
Oh,
I don't know what candy you was messing with, when you were growing up. I love Fruit by the Foot and I love Gushers. Um, I got hooked to Sour Patch Kids late. But Fruit by the Foot, man, that was a dangerous combo.
the question is, did you eat it by the foot or did you fold it up and eat it as a chunk?
Yes, I did both.
You did both.
I did both. Because, like, oh gosh, it was just because you get with the fruit by the foot, you could be so creative. And then my friends and I were dumb because sometimes you use it as a whip because you just roll it out and you need to literally move about a foot away or else you would get nailed with it. But there was a time where it's just, okay, you have to try to peel off all the paper. So you just roll it up and eat it by the chunk so you didn't have to deal with it. And it was so good. It was just like, why are we prolonging this experience? Just do it that way. What about you?
Oh, my candy was the fruit roll-ups. Do you remember you could take like the little
Oh,
pieces out and eat it piece
yes.
by piece, and then you were left with like the outside wrapper, and you had to decide if you were going to tear it into pieces or roll it up into a roll. Normally, mine ended up being in tortilla after I was done with all the little pieces.
That's what I used to do. That's what I used to do. I used to eat that as a tortilla, try to make it like a little burrito or whatever the case might be. I have not seen a fruit roll up in years.
No, I don't even know if they make them anymore.
Oh my gosh, that's
And push
y'all
pops,
push
push
pop.
pops,
Oh my
push pops, the
gosh.
Flintstone ones.
Yes, push pops and then ring pops used to
Oh,
be, oh man. We don't realize how good we had it.
we had it so good.
We had it so good. I got to end the show, but I remember like the fruit roll up. I'm not even gonna ask the last. Well, I have one more question that I need to ask, but I would mistakenly eat the paper sometimes because I was in such a hurry to like, and I didn't get the paper off, and I'm like chewing. Like, what am I chewing on? And it was like I didn't un fully unwrap the plastic. Oh my gosh, those were the top three. Gushers, fruit by the foot, and a fruit roll up. I don't. Oh man. That has me like if we did a top three, it's between fruit by the foot and fruit roll up. Oh man, I'm probably gonna say a fruit roll up was one, fruit by the foot was two, and then gushers were three. And I feel like we're missing a candy though. The push
Mm.
pops were amazing. The The ring pop were amazing. And then you can go like the little Miss Debbie brand, little Debbie's with the cosmic brownies, Oreo cream pies. I was not a Twinkie brother myself, but people used to mess with that. Um, the zebra cakes, the man,
Yeah.
I'm emotional now. So let me ask this last question. Y'all kids just do ESPN has to do a 30 for 30 or Business Insider. If I would love Business Insider to do, they always do like the decline of buffets and all that stuff. Please tell us what happened to our childhood. What happened to Walkmans, CD players, fruit roll-ups, fruit by the foot, all that stuff. But the last question, this is the most important question you will answer. Why does kindness matter to you?
Um, because honestly, what you put out in the universe can change a person's day. Um, and whatever you put out, I'm a firm believer that eventually it all comes back around and it's full circle. So putting out kindness and putting out um just belief in people, um and a positive outlook, it brightens the world. Like it's that pay it forward concept.
You dropped another gem, but you've also survived down the home stretch. Megan, it was an honor talking to one of the GOATs of the world. Congrats on all the success. Where can the people, if they're looking to find you just to support your journey when it comes to your racing?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. I'm at underscore Meg Eckert. And yeah, follow me there.
Meg's the GOAT. You heard her. Follow her there. Listen, remember you get 15% off Nuke's Nutrition if you type in the code Lactic Acid 10. Follow us on Instagram as well. Love, peace, and chicken grease, and we'll catch you next time.